The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that the confrontation between Brooke and Hope is getting more and more intense, leading to the biggest conflict ever in the mother-daughter relationship. If in the past, Brooke always stood by Hope no matter what the circumstances, now she has declared that she can no longer tolerate her daughter. This will certainly create a major turning point, leading to future consequences in the family relationship, and at the same time opening up dramatic developments between the characters involved. The company and the Forresters. The conflict stems from Hope's involvement in stealing the company that was previously under the control of the Forresters. Brooke believes that Hope did wrong in committing this cruel act, but Hope refuses to admit her mistake. She insists that everything was done for her own benefit, not to hurt anyone. The appearance of Carter intervened and returned the company to the Forresters, resulting in Hope having to suffer empty-handed. From her high position, she now has no advantage. Carter's actions make Hope feel abandoned by the Logan family. She believes that everyone, especially her mother, must support her unconditionally. Brooke runs out of patience and responsibility for Hope. Brooke has long played the role of strong rear for her daughter, ready to soothe all mistakes. However, after all the recent tense developments, she has reached the limit of her tolerance. Brooke's change of opinion. She cannot continue to protect Hope, because she herself realizes that her daughter has fallen into wrong decisions, hurting others. Disagreement about responsibility. Brooke thinks that Hope should learn to take responsibility for the consequences caused to the Forrester family, especially since she robbed the company by dishonest means. However, Hope seems to ignore all criticism, claiming that she is not at fault. Brooke's feelings of betrayal and her preference for Ridge. One of the underlying reasons Hope feels hurt and angry with her mother lies in her belief that Brooke loves Ridge more than her own daughter. Hope believes that the Logan family should be united against any outside enemies. Instead, Brooke turns to criticize her, indirectly siding with the Forresters. Brooke has always been known for her boundless love for her children, but this time, she firmly stands for what is right instead of being indulgent. That makes Hope feel lost, like she has lost her last support. Hope almost slaps her mother. The last straw is when Brooke and Hope have a merciless war of words. Each harsh word touches Hope's pride and reveals Brooke's extreme disappointment. At the peak of the tension, Hope almost raises her hand to slap her mother. Katie intervenes in time. To prevent things from getting out of control, Katie appears, separates the two, and calms the situation. Katie played a small role as a bridge in that chaotic moment. Moment of weakness. After her anger exploded, Hope finally burst into tears and hugged her mother. She declared that she no longer wanted to confront her, she just wanted someone to be there for her, to listen and share with her. Broken trust and long-term consequences of change. Despite a temporary hug of reconciliation, the two seemed unable to erase the damage that had just happened. Brooke saw a different side of Hope. For the first time, Brooke realized that her daughter could do whatever it took to achieve her desires. Since then, she no longer trusted Hope unconditionally as before. She still thought that she was only the second choice after Ridge in her mother's eyes. Hope even wondered, did Brooke regret not standing up for her daughter, or did she really want her to understand her mistake? Long-term signs of broken trust. The mother-daughter relationship was haunted by this argument. The hope of a full reconciliation becomes difficult because there will always be the question, will Brooke continue to object to Hope's actions if there is a next time? The return of Deacon Daddy in the midst of a suffocating mother-daughter relationship. Hope's biological father Deacon appears as a spiritual salvation. Deacon's motivation to get closer to his daughter, Sheila, is currently interested in pursuing a relationship with Luna. Deacon is not comfortable with that, so he may move away from Sheila to focus on taking care of his daughter. An important factor for Hope, Deacon can fill the void in Hope's heart. When she feels that her mother is no longer there, his return can be both comforting and conflicting if Brooke does not want Deacon involved. Impact on Brooke-Hope's relationship. If Deacon becomes more important in Hope's life, she may distance herself from her mother, blaming Brooke for making her dependent on her father. Dramatic outlook for Hope and Brooke. Broken trust is not easy to mend. Will mother and daughter have enough time and courage to have a sincere dialogue and reconciliation? Deacon and Sheila, another war. Deacon wants to cut ties with Sheila to protect his daughter, but is Sheila ready to let go? This could be a secondary conflict, but promises drama. Katie has saved a situation that was close to violence. She could continue to be the mediator, to heal the Logan family, or even encourage Hope to admit her mistakes. Are the Forresters involved? Although Hope usurped the company for a short time, they have now regained control. But the feeling of betrayal could anger some members of the Forresters, pushing the conflict to a new level if Hope continues to act rashly. Hope is at an extremely fragile threshold. Brooke no longer supporting her daughter, along with Deacon's participation, will certainly create a lot of drama in the upcoming episodes. Will Hope change her perspective and take responsibility for her mistakes? Will Brooke be willing to forgive her daughter again when she continues to disappoint her? And will Deacon, after all, become Hope's guardian angel or accidentally spark a new conflict? This is just the beginning of a series of tense developments. Fans are eagerly waiting to see how the next family confrontation will unfold, and most of all, is there any chance to mend this once strong mother-daughter relationship? The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that the week of April 7th to 11th will be extremely dramatic, with a series of events rushing by, in which the focus is Steffi's confrontation with Bill, Luna's increasingly strong efforts to win Will, and the dangerous temptation for Finn. Here are the details of each important episode. Steffi confronts Bill, and the turning point of reconciliation with Liam. Steffi attacks head-on, after many disagreements with Bill about the way he treats his family. Steffi decides to end the fragile peace. She is willing to confront Bill directly to resolve the remaining issues. Urge Bill to reconcile with Liam. Although Steffi has always considered Bill a stubborn and somewhat selfish person, she understands that it is extremely necessary for him to reconnect with his son Liam. Steffi can clearly see Liam's pain at being estranged from his father, and is also aware that if Bill continues to have such a big ego, things will only get worse. Potential conflict. Besides wishing well, Steffi also has to face Bill's stubborn attitude. He is not easily swayed, and any suggestion from Steffi is likely to start a new argument. However, Steffi believes that sometimes a strong closing will help Bill realize the importance of family. Luna and Electra's rivalry for Luna's escalating efforts. This week, Luna doesn't just stop at being charming, she will actively look for opportunities to approach Will. Her only goal is to defeat her rival, Electra, win Will's affection, regardless of the means. Although Will still has certain feelings for Electra, it is Electra's hesitation that makes him easily swayed. Luna grasps this weakness, ready to fill the gap when Electra is not ready to upgrade the relationship. Electra may have personal reasons or unresolved worries. This creates a gap for Luna to move deeper into Will's life. Luna plans to make the most of the opportunity, not afraid to use tricks to make Will waver. Electra hesitates to take her relationship with Will to the next level. The commitment question, Electra, despite loving Will, is in no rush to make a formal decision. She may be carrying old hurts or be haunted by past relationships, creating conditions for Luna. When Electra hesitates, Will becomes lost and needs someone to understand. Luna appears at the right time, ready to give him what Electra has not yet given. This is the golden point that Luna wants to exploit thoroughly. Risk of breakdown. Electra is at risk of losing Will if she does not quickly reaffirm her feelings. Will Electra be able to understand and change, or will she let Luna take the upper hand? Finn's temptation with Luna. The danger to his marriage with Steffi. Finn is caught in the net of love, despite having a happy marriage with Steffi. Finn still cannot resist the mysterious charm of Luna. She seems to know how to be charming at all times, planting reckless thoughts in Finn's head. The huge risk. Steffi does not accept any betrayal, especially when she has just faced many storms in her family. If Finn crosses the line, he will destroy the marriage he has built with so much effort. The thin line. The situation becomes more complicated when Finn cannot cut off contact with Luna decisively. Will he dare to face and be straightforward to prevent himself from falling into the trap set by Luna? Or will he collapse and betray the wife he loves? Predict the next drama. Will Bill and Liam really reconcile? Steffi is capable of putting pressure, but Bill himself also has a very big ego. Will Bill listen and take the initiative to make peace with Liam, or will the conflict between father and son continue to hidden? The confrontation between Luna and Elektra when Luna openly speeds up in her quest to conquer Will, Elektra certainly won't stand idly by. A fierce competition may break out, pushing all three into a precarious spiral. Finn on the brink of losing his way, Luna's temptation and the pressure from marriage put Finn at a crossroads. If Finn falls, Steffi may leave him, opening up a new crisis for the whole family. Chain affects the trouble in these relationships doesn't stop at a few characters, but also affects the entire family. Steffi, Bill, Liam, Elektra, Will, and possibly many others. Because in the world of the bold and the beautiful, any emotional incident can easily spark bigger conflicts. The week from April 7th to 11th promises to be extremely suffocating with a series of sudden changes. Steffi musters up all her courage to push Bill to the limits of father-son love, hoping he will humble himself to reconcile with Liam. Meanwhile, Luna tries to fight for Will, forcing Elektra into a situation where she is forced to respond strongly. At the same time, Finn is approaching the dangerous boundary when he cannot firmly reject Luna's charm, risking the destruction of his family's happiness. With these consecutive tensions, it is not difficult to predict that things will explode in a more dramatic direction. Fans are certainly waiting for every next moment to see who will maintain their position, who will slide into mistakes, and who will appear to save the chaotic situation in the world of the bold and the beautiful.